Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the First War of Armageddon, a Dreadnought story by Warrior Tier. Yes guys, I'm really excited to check this one out here today. I'm not really too sure what the First War of Armageddon is going to entail. I know with Helsreach obviously, I believe that was the Third War of Armageddon, which I'm assuming takes place quite a bit later, and that was against the Orcs. Now I want to say the First War is probably going to be against chaos units, but I don't have any idea. I've never really checked out much of the First War of Armageddon, so I'm really excited to see what that's all about here today. And obviously a Dreadnought story too. You know me, I love Dreadnoughts. I love kind of mechs of any sense. I know Dreadnought is, you know, pretty small in comparison to what the sizes can get up there. Obviously smaller than a knight, for example. But, you know, I still think they're awesome. You know, the fact that they're just literally a space marine that is too mortally wounded to fight, and they're just kind of entombed within that that Dreadnought in a sense. I think that's a really cool concept, and I'm really excited to check this one out here today. And I'm excited to see what the voice acting for it's going to be too. I know being in a Dreadnought for a long period of time, I believe they keep them in stasis throughout most of their life, if you want to call it that, and they really only bring them out for combat. And I believe the reason for that is because of mental degradation. Although I could be wrong, I'm fairly certain the reason is mental degradation. They just kind of lose their minds after X amount of time of being in a Dreadnought. You know what I mean? Just being mortally wounded like that, hooked up to a machine to stay alive. So yeah, I'm really excited to check this out. If you guys enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course, leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Big shout out to all of our members, all of our Hastati, and our Principe Dagenhart. I appreciate you guys, sir. You guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And yeah, with that, guys, if you guys want, come on down, join the Discord. It's awesome to see you guys there. It's awesome to discuss with you. And we got a pretty large community over on the Discord, you know? Come on down, play some games, do whatever. It's awesome to see you guys there. Join the Discord, guys. And yeah, with that, I think we're gonna get right into this video. Let me make sure captions are on. Quality is 1440p. Excellent. Let's go.
Initiate protocol A945.
I'm liking this little intro cinematic.
Compound 64. It's ready. Rise, O lost brother. The galaxy has need of your righteous claws once more.
Goddamn.
Arise to burn the dark that threatens your kin. Arise, venerable claw brother. Terry for spear.
Goddamn.
I remember Armageddon. Long centuries bitter.
Oh. So, okay, so this isn't gonna be like a Dreadnought in Armageddon. I believe this is gonna be the story of how he became a Dreadnought in a sense. So this was a space marine that took place in the battle, or took part in the battle of the First War of Armageddon. I'm assuming got mortally wounded there, and now I'm assuming telling his story of how he became a Dreadnought, of what like got him into this predicament, I guess, in a sense. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Let's keep watching.
Long centuries bitter lie, like snowflakes on the turgid wings of Venice. I hear in my darkened slumber the howling. Can I say the howling is the wolves of Rome, nor the wolves of the betrayed? How many
Wolves, is he talking about space wolves?
Those foul inquisitors were warned to never again darken the skies of my home. Countless thousands of heroes of Armageddon were killed in cold blood by those supposed servants of the Emperor. Now I remember their howls. It was so warm on Armageddon when we landed. The air was a fierce scream of cold height and heat.
So now it's his normal voice.
Was a violent reminder.
I just want to say, I think that's a really cool transition, like the intro consisting of his modulated voice, showing the fact that he's been transitioned into a Dreadnought, like kind of a foreshadowing of what's to come. You know, he's going to get fucked up really badly in some sense, obviously. But yeah, like, and then he's going right into it to retell the actual battle itself. I think that's an awesome way to do it. Props to Warrior Tier for that. That was cool.
Cold and heat. The shaking of the drop pod was a violent reminder of the sturdiness of Imperial construction.
Okay, Space Wolves.
My battle brothers, not so much. We were petitioned by the Planetary Defense Force to reinforce a small mining city called Cypher 7.
Okay.
A supposedly vital resource hub. We had landed. We were greeted by the normal stares of stunned surprise. The looks of fearful awe. Now I hate it. Imperial conditioning has sought to convince non-Astartes that we were gods amongst men. What a cruel joke.
Damn.
Commander Logan Alexandros.
And he even talks about how much he despises that. But I wonder too, Armageddon, the actual planet at this point in time, I wonder if Armageddon is actually like, because obviously at the time we saw it in Helsreach. That's the third war for it, right? It's assuming I'm pretty bad. Like, it has to be pretty battle scarred by that point, given how much conflict has taken place on the planet. I'm assuming I'd have to say is the planet Armageddon actually like nicer right now? You know, is it a complete fucking barren wasteland at this point still, or is it actually like a bit nicer before the first war kicks off? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm actually kind of curious about the history of the planet, because there's a lot of lore around it. Apparently, a lot of stuff surrounding it. You know, so, and apparently, you know, orc invasions. Again, I'm not too sure who the enemy is here. I want to say chaos, but I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out, and I don't know anything about the second war. I literally couldn't tell you what that was over, you know. But yeah, it's interesting to find out.
What a cruel joke. Commander Logan Alexandros. He was our first point of contact. He led the Cypher first Steel Legion Irregulars. He may be the only man
nice beard he does.
From my eye line. When I asked him if he was afraid of us, he simply replied, "Why would I fear a wolf who howls for the blood of enemies I seek to annihilate?" My brothers and I were stunned for several seconds by the raw truth in this statement.
Wow.
I mistaken him for an inexperienced boy, forgetting that he and his ragtag band had faced off World Eaters for 3 weeks was not
World Eaters.
Guns, grenades,
wow,
knives, and the venom that came to make him so famous. He told us of the attacks.
So it is Chaos Forces, okay.
The armies, the tactics, all whose insane things that made the World Eaters. The World Eaters.
Yeah. Wow.
My dearest brother, an apothecary Arkostrat, spent 19 hours of the first day there tending to the wounded hidden in the tunnels and shafts beneath Cypher 7.
God damn.
The 4th day, I had under my command 25 Astartes and 650 Steel Legion troops.
Damn.
Not enough. Never enough.
Steel Legion. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too certain on the lore of that. Is that like a armored regiment in a sense? Like your tanks and like maybe your APC, like your mobile units in a sense? I'd have to assume Steel Legion would be that, but I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I definitely want to make sure I'm not misinterpreting that. I'm just, from this scene, you know, I see a lot of troops. He didn't say troops, he's saying Steel Legion, and I'm seeing tanks, so I'm just kind of making that interpretation, but I could be entirely wrong. Somebody let me know.
Steel Legion troops. Not enough. Never enough.
Wow.
The World Eaters 17 purge.
And when I should say too, when you're fighting the World Eaters, it probably is never enough. You know, you always want some more going on. You know, holy fuck, fucking absolutely rancid enemy. You know, to fight.
Never enough. The World Eaters 17th Purge Battalion.
The Purge Battalion. What a crazy name.
As it refused to surrender to their depraved butchery.
17th Purge Battalion. Holy shit.
5 more days until what they were waiting for arrived. I do not seek to slander the names of those who fought on Armageddon. I remember the hope dying in the eyes of the Steel Legion when the cursed traitor Titan, the Bleeding Eye, emerged from the smoke 4 miles in front of our lines.
A traitor Titan.
To this day, I see the cursed runes dug into that Titan's skin.
Damn.
Flesh because it was flesh. The once beautiful ceramite had grown over with skin.
Oh,
Bled as it stood.
that's fucked up.
Clarion call echoing from its tortured heart through a dozen Vox amplifiers nailed to its body.
So what class of Titan would this be then? I'm assuming, excuse me, I'm assuming it'd be one of the larger ones. Maybe like a warlord or something. Maybe not though. It could just be like a, you know, I'm assuming they wouldn't be overly afraid if it was like a warhound class or something like that. I'm assuming this is probably a big bitch if I had to guess. But what a terrifying fucking presence. A Titan already is already scary enough on the battlefield in any form. But you gotta think, right? This thing is fucking covered over in flesh. It's literally bleeding as it stands. This giant monstrosity. Fuck. What an absolute like morale annihilator that would be. Like if you saw that, you'd be like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, what are we even fighting for? It's over. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, that would be a horrific sight to see. And again, with everything going on around you, fuck, yeah.
The sight almost sent Red Tyrell, a tech marine under my command, mad.
Like, yeah.
I do not think the sight of that blasphemy standing ever left him. I believe he was cursed to see it.
Wow.
To his death.
Oh.
We all knew that this was the end. We had received word from
Goddamn.
cover scouts of an amassing enemy force. Reports from other parts of the world showed of more and more contact with the demons and demon engines. Rumors flew of a giant flying shape in the sky, rumored to be the cursed Angron.
Fuck, Angron's here?
And charge came at 3 hours and 8.
Okay, first of all, that looks sick. That's a pretty cool representation. Second, yeah, Angron. I didn't realize Angron himself made his presence known here. And I'm assuming this is in the actual 40k, not 30k period. So he's probably like full-on demon prince by now, right? Like Angron. Fuck, like I'm shocked Armageddon still stand to see a second and third war. If you want me to be honest, that's rather fucked up. I mean, it would make sense, you know, if the World Eaters are there, that he would also kind of be with them. But, you know, and again, Angron, like, yeah, he's always bloodthirsty, that motherfucker, you know. I guess all the World Eaters are holy shit, World Eaters are, but like, goddamn, had a stroke there. I apologize.
18 minutes before dawn. The World Eaters have no use.
But what a cool
for
representation of the Titan.
They send the sharp, the weak, and the ill first as fodder.
Yeah.
The helmet's display counted 4,240 human normal forms, armored with scant autoguns, but mostly wielding clubs and knives. They
Goddamn.
screamed as they ran toward us.
That's
They
fucked.
ran for 4 miles through barbed wire, plunge traps, spike-filled trenches, and heavy bolter fire. The air was red with their blood. The humans standing with us know the truth. These were people like them, either corrupted or tortured into being mindless, suicidal barbarians. The
Goddamn.
Legion learned quickly that each killed cultist was a blessing.
True.
To free their former comrades in arms.
That's how you gotta think about it, right?
And the very
Holy shit.
my fellow Astartes grew. So did the legions. The humans clenched their teeth, roaring as they fired. How noble they were. Barely 200 cultists made our lines. Most were injured. Putting them down was no work. Gave even less honor.
Goddamn.
They were wretches. The humans were forced to focus on them. Our limited firepower being soaked up by their horde. Before the last cultist fell, the World Eaters were upon us. I take no pride in living when I have seen such heroes as the Steel Legion. Not flinched or paused at the sight of my Gene brothers crashing towards them. With my own claws, I killed 6 of the Blind Kings.
Wow.
Reveling further with each slashed heart, each caved in skull. It shames me that I am the only living survivor of the slaughter at Cypher.
Really?
After
Wow.
5 hours of fighting, claw to blade in close quarters, less than 100 Steel Legion remained alive. Well, by that time we had killed anywhere between 10 and 400 World Eaters.
God damn.
Though at this point there were only 5 wolves left. I had wondered during the fighting of the location of the Titan, and it occurred to me. So I ripped my blunted lightning claws from the face of a World Eater. I looked up at the time to see it sort of mounted rocket's fire. It devastated Cypher, southern quarter. Who knows how many are killed in that last barrage.
God damn.
The Titan was surrounded by adoring, chanting tech priests who had roused it from its slumber.
Dark Mechanicum?
A lot as we sprinted at them. Their eyes rotted away from days of not blinking as they feared to miss even a glimpse of their Lord of Slaughter manifest.
Wow.
Brother Simon was killed by a dozen of them as they realized we had found their machine. Helsreach was destroyed by a blast with the Titan's cannon arm.
Fuck.
May he rest now in peace.
Like, again, I want to know the size of this Titan. Like, did he eat a direct fucking, like, you know, like a Warlord Titan blast? Like, I assume that would leave quite the crater around, you know. It has to be a smaller class in that case, right? Maybe not. Maybe they're really, like, distance away and, you know, he just, like, sees, oh, fuck, you know. Grid square evaporated, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Yeah, hard to say though, but somebody let me know the size. I would really like to know the size of this thing. Holy shit.
I don't remember the rest. In his visits to my chambers, Commander Logan Alexandros had told me I was seen climbing the limbs of the Titan.
Fuck.
Using my claws as means of movement.
God damn.
It was he and the 9 other survivors who found the Reds and I beneath the dead husk of the Titan.
Fuck.
And the other members of the Steel Legion had been forced back into the shafts of Cypher and had fought for 5 days against the remnants of the World Eaters.
Perhaps Steel Legion's just a guard regiment, not like necessarily armored. Perhaps just a guard regiment. I'm not. Again, somebody please let me know on that. I feel silly for not necessarily knowing, but I'm gonna be honest when I'm not entirely sure. So somebody please let me know on that. Goddamn.
5 days against the remnants of the World Eaters. Logan Alexandros told me that through the shattered faceplate of my cracked helmet, he could see I was smiling when he found me. That was the last time any living being saw my face, or even my flesh. The damage sustained to my body should have killed me. But I was made to live. I was made to live as I laid my brothers to rest beneath the frozen mountains of our homeworld. I attended the interment of High Marshal Logan Alexandros as he laid to rest in the chapel of the Steel Wolf in the rebuilt city.
God damn, they gave him honors?
Of Cypher.
Oh.
A hero for the first war of Armageddon and my last true friend.
God damn. It's cool that they actually brought him back and gave him like burial honors on their planet like that. Like, you know, that's a very respectful thing to do. I think too, because he was just a human, right? Like, I'm assuming that must be pretty rare for any Hastati chapter to or Legion to do at that point, right? A chapter at this point, but I'm assuming that's got to be a rare thing, you know. Very, very like cool to see though.
I was made to live when such heroes have passed. I remember Armageddon's heroes. I remember hearing Angron's blade breaking against a silver night shield force our will.
Fuck.
Those innocents deserve death for witnessing one of righteousness.
Jesus, that's a brutal scene.
No, maybe not. I will live on an eternal death steel coffin. My first death on Armageddon was not enough to seize me.
Fuck.
All shall come to know the howls that live in my mind. I cry out the names of the betrayed as I sow terror amidst the homes of the innocent. I'll tear German ships were called Dreadnoughts first, and they now given to us.
Wow.
And dead. And we shall Dreadnought.
Wow.
Woe to those cowards who seek to slay the innocent. I hear their howls. I remember their faces. I remember the soldiers I died protecting. I remember Armageddon.
Wow. That was fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I like that one too. Holy shit. Wow, guys. That was the first war of Armageddon, a Dreadnought story by Warrior Tier. Of course, if you guys enjoyed that, make sure you go like Warrior Tier's video. That was fucking great. I love his videos. I love the work he does. And that was a great interpretation of, like, I guess how you become a Dreadnought, what really fucks you up. I guess, like, you know, not necessarily the feats you have to accomplish to be one, but, like, you know, just how desperate in a sense that it could be, you know. And the fact that this individual actually survived to become one, given the feats that he did. One of the last, well, he was the last surviving member. He said it, right? Fucking crazy to see. And I thought this was a really good story overall, and to learn a little bit more too about the first war of Armageddon, knowing that the World Eaters and Angron were there. Yeah, I had no idea, you know. I had no idea he actually had a presence on Armageddon at all, so that was very cool to see too. A little interesting bit of lore, and I would like to learn more about Armageddon in general now, I'm not gonna lie, you know. After watching Helsreach, seeing just how much, you know, how much is going on with the planet. Again, it seems like it has a really rich lore base, so I'd be interested to learn some more about it. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content from me, and of course leave your recommendations down in the comments below. Big shout out to all of our members, all of the Hastati and our Principe Dagenhart. I appreciate you guys inspire me to make more content for you guys every single day, of course. And with that, guys, this has been Centurion, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, guys.